this video on paragraphs. This is another video that I will be adding into my grammar section on my channel, MissW. So make sure you subscribe because there will be further videos on spelling, punctuation and grammar and exercises within those videos that you can complete. So let's have a think about what a paragraph actually is. Well, a paragraph is a section of writing which consists of one or more sentences, and it typically deals with a single thought or topic or quotes one speaker's continuous words. We need to really make sure that our writing is paragraphed, and the reason that we need to make sure that it is essentially, it makes it easier for your reader to understand what you're discussing. So it signposts to your reader that there's going to be a change in the topic, place, time or person speaking. Now, if we didn't have paragraphs, then your writing would be a huge block of text and it would make it really difficult for your reader to follow the points that you're making. Or if it's a story, if you've got twists and turns or you're moving between different places or you're changing the dialogue between characters, it would make it really difficult for the reader to follow what you're writing. So a very simple way to learn how to change paragraphs is what we call tip-top. So it's just an easy way of remembering the four different ways, the four different times that you need to change a paragraph. So you've got TI, which stands for time, you've got P, which stands for place, TO, which stands for topic, and you've got the second P, stands for person or change of speaker. So whenever you have a change of time in your piece of writing, then you must change your paragraph. So phrases which may indicate a change in time are phrases such as later in the day or the next morning, hours had passed by. So whenever there's a change in time in your piece of descriptive writing or the story that you've written, you need to make sure that you change your paragraph. If you have a change of place in your writing, then you also need to change paragraph. So if you're writing a story, then you'll almost certainly have different locations or settings. So when you place your characters in a different location, you must change the paragraph. So again, phrases which might indicate a change in place are phrases such as further down the road or at the beach hut. The ramshackle house was a stark contrast to the beautiful palace he had just set foot in. So that sentence tells us that previously this person was in a ramshackle house, however now they are in a beautiful palace. So there has been a change in place. If you change your topic or the subject that you are discussing, then you must change paragraph. So for example, in writing to argue, each argument or topic that you're discussing should form a separate and distinct paragraph. And this is probably the time that you would actually change a paragraph the most often, is when you change the subject or topic that you're discussing. And finally, if you have a change of speaker, if you've got dialogue within the text that you're writing, then you must change paragraph. So it indicates to the reader which character is speaking. So here we've got two characters, we've got Beth and Graham. So we start with Beth shouted, "Hello, is anyone there?" And then Graham comes in and he speaks, and we need to change our paragraph to indicate to the reader that it is a different speaker who is speaking at that point in time. So we can show that we are starting a new paragraph in two different ways. So the first way is we can leave one line between our paragraphs, as in the top example. So you can write your paragraph, then you leave one line and then you start your new one. That's a newer or more modern way of indicating to your reader that you are starting a new paragraph. Obviously we use computers a lot more now, so this is standard convention if we are typing something. The older and more traditional way of showing to the reader that you are starting a new paragraph is to indent the first line, okay, like the second example there. So you can indent the first line of your new paragraph, and then when you're starting another one, you indent that line as well. Like I said, either is fine. You can use either, that's not a problem, but the top example is probably the more modern way of indicating to the reader that it is a new paragraph. So paragraphs themselves actually have a structure as well. And it's a very similar structure to if you were writing a story and it had a beginning, middle and end, or if you were writing to argue piece, for example, and you had an introduction, a main body and a conclusion. So all paragraphs start with a topic sentence, and this sentence identifies to the reader the main topic or subject of that particular paragraph. And like I said, all paragraphs have one of those. Then we have supporting sentences. Now most paragraphs have these, and these sentences form the main body of your paragraph. So they add extra detail to what you've written with regards to your topic sentence, or they might provide supporting evidence. But in general, they add further detail, and your supporting sentences follow your topic sentence. And then you have a concluding sentence or concluding sentences, and some paragraphs have these, but not all. But for those that do, these sentences repeat the topic sentence in a different way. They might express how you feel about the topic, or what you think about the topic that you've been discussing. But not all paragraphs have one of these, or indeed more than one of these. So I've got a paragraph here that I wrote as part of a writing to argue piece, and I actually decided to write about a film that I loathed, and it was Lord of the Rings, and I'm sure there are many of you that actually really enjoy that film, but it's not my cup of tea. So I wrote a paragraph as in a writing to argue piece. And within this paragraph, I've got a topic sentence, I've got supporting sentences, and I've got concluding sentence. So what I want you to do is read through and see if you can identify the topic, supporting, and concluding sentences. So just pause the video now. Okay, and you will have seen that my topic sentence, which enters the paragraph and explains to the reader that I'm going to be discussing about the film, was above all the most compelling reason for hating this film is the time it takes to watch it. So the reader immediately knows that I'm going to be discussing about the length of the film. Then we've got lots of supporting sentences to back up what I've said about the time. And then the final sentence, I had just spent the last 4 hours on my own unexpected journey, one of boredom and frustration, is my concluding sentence. So it links to the topic sentence because it talks about the length of time that I'd had to sit through, but it says it in a different way. So writers do use paragraphs for effect. Now some writers use longer paragraphs to fully explore an idea or topic, or to give extensive detail about the thing they are discussing. Now we would do that in writing to argue, we would do that in writing to persuade. In stories, for example, we might want to use shorter paragraphs to create pace and dramatic impact. And we can have one sentence paragraphs, okay? Now, when we looked at the structure of a paragraph, I explained that all paragraphs have a topic sentence. Most have supporting sentences and some have a concluding sentence. Now, this is the point that I'm making. If it's a one sentence paragraph, then it's got to be a topic sentence, okay? And the reason why we use one sentence paragraphs is because they're particularly useful at emphasising that main point or idea that you want to make to the reader. So they highlight the importance of that point. Now we have to be careful when we use those one sentence paragraphs, because if we use too many of them, the reader would get very confused as to what was the most important point that you were making. They lose their impact, okay? Now, if we think about news articles, that's very different. Now, they do tend to use a lot of one sentence paragraphs. And that's because they are there to inform the reader about the most important piece of the news, essentially. So if you have a look at a news article, go through and see how many one sentence paragraphs they use. And also think about the content of those one sentence paragraphs. Why have they used that one sentence paragraph at that particular point in time? Is it because it is the main point of the news story? So I've got an Oliver Twist extract here, and what I want you to do is I've actually taken the paragraphs out of it, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an exercise. And you can have a read through this, and I want you to see if you can add the paragraphs back in based on the rules of tip top. So we've got change in time, change in place, change in dialogue, and change in topic. So I want you to have a read through. It probably would be useful to pause the video now. See if you can add the paragraphs back into this extract as a good exercise to see if you've understood when to change your paragraphs. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at that exercise. Now you'll see that when we paragraph the extract, it makes it much easier to read, like I said. So we've got, first of all, we've got a change of topic up at the beginning. So we've got discussion of the room, the kitchen, where Oliver was. And then we've got in the next paragraph a discussion of what they were eating. So that is a change of topic there. Then you've got it was quite dark when he was awakened. So that is an indication that there's been a change in time from when they were eating. So that is a new paragraph there. We've got starting of dialogue. So we need a new paragraph there. And then wherever we've got a change in speaker, then we need to make sure that we've got a new paragraph. So that we've got new paragraphs all the way through that exchange of dialogue between the characters. And then on the very last line, we've got why not rejoin Sykes? You're going to accommodate us. So we've got that last line of dialogue, and then we've got the stranger reflected upon this argument. So we've got the end of the dialogue, change of topic, so then we need a new paragraph there. And it just makes it much easier to follow what's going on in the story. Hopefully you've got that right. If not, have a good look through and make sure you understand why there have been changes in paragraphs. And this Hunger Games extract, hopefully you will be aware of the story of the Hunger Games. This is when all of the people are in the arena and they're getting ready to go, and this section describes the point at which they're about to start the Hunger Games. And we've got, it's not a, is it a one sentence? No, it's a two sentence paragraph right in the very middle. But I thought it was quite interesting to read this extract and think about why the writer has positioned that two sentence paragraph right in the middle. So I want you to read through and I want you to think about, why has the writer made it clear, I hear his instructions in my head, okay? And then explain the instructions and made it as a two sentence paragraph. So it's obviously short for dramatic impact, but why would the writer want to make that particularly dramatic at that point in time? So pause the video and then I will tell you in just a moment. Okay, so we know that the writer wants to make it clear that this person is stood there waiting to go, but the instruction that she's been given is to just go, just clear out, put as much distance as you can between yourselves and the others. So we know that this is extremely important because she's been told to get out to save her life, really. So the writer's making it clear to the reader that this is the most important information that she's been given before entering the arena. This is what she needs to do. So it's highlighting the importance of that particular instruction within this extract. Okay, so hopefully that's made it a little bit clearer when it comes to when you need to paragraph and why we need to do it, really. But if you do have any questions, then you can tweet me at Aisha Exams. Please do subscribe to my channel. Like I said, there will be lots more spelling, grammar and punctuation videos added over the coming months. And also for any teachers or educators out there, I am doing some flipped learning worksheets to go along with these videos, which you can find on my website aishaexams.wordpress.com. And these are also useful for any students that want to revise these topics or want to have a little bit of an exercise. Then head over to aishaexams.wordpress.com and you can download those worksheets for free. Thanks for listening.